Why are some photographers successful? They can earn good money in this career, they can get clients consistently, they can even get bigger and bigger clients and jobs over time. While 99% of photographers struggle in this career and they struggle to make ends meet month after month. This is the problem that I want to tackle with you in this video today. Because personally, I have made a lot of mistakes over the past 5 years while building my own photography business. And if you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Katja. I'm a portrait photographer based in Berlin, Germany, and I shoot headshots for actors and I also shoot business clients. And on this channel, I try to pass on all the knowledge that I'm gaining about the business side photography onto you. So I went back and I identified 5 super tactical things that I wish that I knew earlier in this process while building my photography business that I want to teach you so you can start implementing those things today in your own business to make this a sustainable and good path for yourself. So the first problem that I see that separates the 99% of people who aren't successful in this business and the 1% who are successful is that the 1% understand the perseverance that it takes to be in this business. And there is a big misunderstanding for this because I hear a lot of people talking about like perseverance and it takes time and you need to stick it out. And then there's tons of people out there who are like, yeah, but I've been in this career for like 10 plus years, 20 plus years. I've been a photographer all my life and still I can't get clients. Still I can't get a break. Still I can't make enough money. And the problem is your experience and the time that you have spent doing things is kind of irrelevant if the time hasn't been spent doing the right things. So if month after month you just do more of the same things that you have been doing previously and you're not changing anything about your processes, about your marketing, about like the clients that you're trying to attract, yeah, of course, nothing is going to change or improve in your business. And that's not what I mean by perseverance. I mean perseverance in doing experiments on your business, trying new things every single day, every single week, every single month until you get closer to the goals that you have. And for this, you need patience, which is a super scarce resource nowadays. Like people are just impatient and they underestimate that, yes, it does take like 5 to 10 years to get a creative business like this off the ground. But it only takes this time if you're doing the right things. It can take 20 years of like not being successful in this, or it can take 30 years. Like it doesn't really matter. The time doesn't really matter. The patience and the willingness to try new things and to experiment is what matters. So let me give you an example of what perseverance does look like. And in my book, in my opinion, from looking back on my journey, I think what's really helpful is to get up every single day and really honestly ask yourself, what is the biggest problem that I have in my business right now? And you can lie to yourself and deceive yourself all day long, but it's not going to move you forward. Being really honest with what your current problems are is the path to solving those problems. So, for example, your biggest problem currently could be you're not getting enough clients. And the solution to the problem is trying to figure out ways to find more clients. And usually that requires doing certain types of activities that attract clients. Those activities could be marketing, social media, creating content online, reaching out to people, pitching, hoping that clients will just randomly fall from the sky and find your little website is not going to move you forward. So you need to start being active and do the right things to get more clients. If your problem, on the other hand, is that with every single client, you're just not earning enough money, then most likely you're just not targeting or attracting the right type of client. And you're undercharging your services. Well, you might be undercharging for your services because your services are just not very good yet because of lack of experience. And that's totally fair. So you need to gain more experience, get better so you could raise your prices. Or you might just be charging lower prices because you are in the wrong niche and in the wrong segment. And if you were to target bigger clients who have bigger budgets, then you could charge more per client. So maybe that's the problem that you need to focus on right now. How do I reach a different niche of customers? So, and I promise you, if you do that day after day, week after week, month after month, you will get closer to success. You will get closer to your goals and you will improve your metrics in your business. If you just do more of the same and you expect different results, well, that's a little bit crazy. So, successful photographers know how to work on their business continuously, and they understand that they need to work on their business continuously, and they can persevere through solving those kind of issues and problems in their business. And they know that this is the path and that it takes patience and it takes experimentation to get to the other side. So let's move on to problem number two, or the number two thing that I see that the 1% of successful photographers shows, whereas 99% lack this particular thing, and that is professionalism in every single aspect of your photography business. So you can ask yourself very honestly, very brutally honest, what makes somebody a super professional photographer? Is it the gear that they're using? Is it the way that their website looks? Is it the way they dress? Like, what makes them professional? And what I would like you to do is when you finish this video, I would like you to make a list to check in with yourself super honestly. What are the areas in your own business where you aren't professional yet? Is it the way that you maybe communicate with clients over email? Have you professionalized that email process? Are you very professional when you talk to a client on the phone? Like, how do you talk to your customers? Do you have a process? Do you have questions that you ask them? Do you have a sales pitch that you know by heart and you know how to convert somebody who's interested in calling you, how to convert them into a paying customer? What does your website currently look like? Is it up to a professional standard? And which methods are you using to transfer the files for a photo shoot to your client? Are you being really professional in that? And speaking of which, this is where the sponsor of today's video, PickDrop, fits in perfectly. Because I have found no better professional software out there to share my photos with my clients. So the best thing about PickDrop is that you can use the basic version of PickDrop completely for free forever. And you don't even need to download anything. You can just use it in your browser. I have been a paying customer of PickDrop myself for years now, and I'm using the Pro version, which gives me unlimited galleries. It gives me tons of options to customize the gallery that I'm sending to my client, like turning off downloads, communicating through comments with them, seeing the activity of my client in the gallery. And it lets me create this beautiful professional experience for my clients when they are selecting the photos that they want me to retouch. So there's a color coding system that clients can use to mark up their favorites. They can even draw on the pictures if they want something changed. It makes the entire communication and retouch process so seamless and so effortless for both sides. If you use my link in the description below, you can sign up for free and use the Pro version for 2 months completely for free to test all the features of this amazing software that has been designed by photographers for photographers. And thank you to PickDrop for sponsoring this segment of the video. So to elaborate a little bit on this professionalism point is that I see tons of photographers' websites and social media. I have this segment on my channel where I ask you to send me your portfolios, and I've been looking at different photographers' portfolios, and the lack of professionalism sometimes is just shocking. Like like I see websites that are so confusing. I see like the information on there is just not very clear. The texts that people write about themselves or about what they're offering, like oftentimes it's not even clear what people are offering. Like, what can I buy from you? Like, what type of photography are you selling and who's your customer? And all of this speaks to a lack of professionalism. So be honest, check in with yourself, and go through all the areas that you might be lacking professionalism right now and try to improve it one step at a time, one point at a time. So, the next thing that I think creates success, particularly in this career path, is something that is so close to my heart, and that is visibility. I think successful photographers understand that they need visibility and they need a lot of it and they need to increase it over time. And also, they figure out how to increase their visibility over time because there's methods to that. So, we were speaking about the problems that you might currently have in your photography business. And I bet the number one problem that you have is that not enough people know who you are and what you offer. And also, your problem is you don't really know how to change that. And the good thing is that you are not alone with this because guess what? This is the number one problem that most businesses have in this entire world. Nobody knows who they are, or not enough people know who they are, and they're trying to change that. So, this means that it is something that every business out there, every creative, every freelancer, every small or big business, this is one thing that we need to try and solve and tackle. And here's the next problem. I think that most people and most businesses underestimate the amount of things and activities that they need to be doing to solve this problem, to create visibility. Like, newsflash, posting once a week on your social media is not going to cut it. But Katja, you're going to say, how can I create visibility for myself? I just don't know how to do it. And in my opinion, there's only two major ways that you can create visibility sustainably. There's a couple smaller ones. I'm going to also mention those a little bit later, but there's two main ones that most people focus on. So the first one is like classical marketing, and that is paying for visibility. That means paid ads. And I do see photographers using this method out there, and I don't know like how successful they are with this, but I do get ads from time to time from business photographers, portrait photographers, newborn photographers, wedding photographers that are advertising to me on, let's say, Instagram. I mostly see those ads on Instagram, and they probably get customers this way. Well, the problem with paid ads is they cost money. And if you're very inexperienced with creating ads and posting ads and then funneling that traffic to your product or service, is that you will probably be spending, or let's say burning, a lot of money on it before you really figure out the system. But if you want to do that, more power to you. Go ahead, try that method. But there's another way, and that way is basically free, and that is organic content. So, creating and posting organic content nowadays is basically the way to create visibility for your product, for your service, and especially if you are a photographer, you are working in a visual medium. So, this should be like a home run for you. And I know a lot of people just for some reason don't want to do it. And I think it's because they underestimate the impact that organic content can have on your business. So I would say that 95% of customers who have booked me over the past 3 years have reached me through some kind of organic content that I have been posting on various platforms. For me, this has been Instagram for my headshot photography and actor photography, and it has been LinkedIn for my business photography. And because I have been active and posting on those platforms, people became aware of the work that I do, the type of shoots that I do, the type of clients that I service, and they could see themselves reflected in that, and they would then reach out to me to book me for a similar thing. So unless you have tons of money to burn on ads, I would recommend everybody to go down the organic content route and pick one platform. You could pick Instagram, for example, or you could pick LinkedIn. It kind of depends a little bit on the niche that you are in and the type of customer you're trying to target, and start posting on there every single day. If you have a massive problem with gaining clients, Yes, you should be posting on there every single day and trying new things. And I don't mean uploading some random like street photography photo that you have taken. I mean basically educating and sharing things about your offer and your business, how you can help people, what type a photographer you are, how you work, maybe talking to some past clients of yours, show some case studies, show some results where people have previously paid you to do a certain thing. Like, don't just post like cat content. Don't just post like pictures of beautiful flowers that you have taken. Like, nobody is going to hire you for that type of stuff. So the content needs to match the type of clients and the type of jobs that you are trying to attract. And one thing that I want to add is once you have figured out the organic content route and how to actually make good content and attract clients this way, you can still go down the paid ad route because in paid ads, you need to figure out how to make good pieces of content anyway, because paid ads are also content, only content that then you put some money behind it to get more reach. Before I move on to the next point, if you're enjoying this type of content, please give this channel a little subscribe and I will know to make more videos just like this one for you. Thank you so much. All right, let's talk about the next big thing that I think is going to help you massively to set yourself apart as a photographer. And that thing is to specialize. Specializing is extremely important, and especially when you are starting out. But also, if you are struggling, I think this is a step. If you take this step, it can just improve your business like super fast. Sometimes this is also called niching down, creating a niche. You've probably heard about this before, but I'm going to try and explain it in a way that hopefully persuades you to actually give this a go. Because I feel like people hear this type of advice and they don't really implement it. And so nothing really changes for them. Or they think, oh, I am already like in a niche. I have this niche and I have that niche and I serve this niche and that niche. And no, this is not what is meant by this advice. Like, if you're offering everything and anything under the sun, then you're not a niche. You're not specialized. You're just a random person and nobody really knows what it is that you stand for. So let me make it really super simple for you. And it is a little bit brutal, but I'm going to say it anyway. So I want you to have one type of offer, only one type of package, a single package that you offer to one type of client. And I want you to only have that thing on your website. I only want you to talk about that thing on your social media and create content around that one thing. For example, that thing for me is currently a content package for entrepreneurs. That package includes a 3-hour shoot with somebody who's an entrepreneur and has their own business and that needs content to post on social media and on their website, and they need large amounts of it. So I include 20 finished images in that package. This is my one offer for one type of client. If you have more than that, you are already confusing people. People don't know what to like hire you for. They don't know like, are you servicing this type of client or that type of client? Like, they will try to negotiate. They will try to get like cheaper things, but can you only shoot for like half an hour? But can you only do this and that? And you basically land in this hellhole of confusion on both sides. And it won't bring you closer to your goal. It won't get you anywhere in your business. So if you're a wedding photographer, you only offer one package. And because you know your clients well, so you will figure out over time what that perfect package is. It will need some iterations and some changing, but you will know also intuitively. Also, you will know by the way you want to work with your clients. So, wedding photographer, one wedding package. Portrait photographer, one portrait package. Business photographer, business package. Product photographer, one product package. Newborn photographer, newborn package. And you will have this package consistently communicated everywhere. And okay, what happens if a client approaches you that wants something completely else to that package. Well, it's up to you. Of course, you can still take that client. It will take some focus away from what you're trying to build. But I mean, at the end of the day, you need to eat. But you're not going to start putting all of these different services and things on your website and confusing people, right? You can still, like, if people want customization and instead of a 3-hour package with me, they want to book a 6-hour package, I'm not going to say no to that. I'm going to, of course, offer it at a higher price and a higher ticket, but I'm not going to say no to that unless I really want to say no. Then obviously you can say no. So, and why I'm insisting on this and why I think it's going to be so helpful for your business, it's going to really force you to focus on your niche and specialize. What type of photographer are you? What is your core offer? Who is that core offer addressed to? Like, who are your clients? Like, have a client base in mind. What is their age? What do they look like? Where do they work? How much money do they have to spend on a photography package? Like, what are their budgets that they're usually working with? This will also help you to identify whether you are in the right niche to begin with. Because if you're servicing a niche where people just don't have much money, you're never going to get anywhere. You need to pick a different niche, probably. And that may hurt for some of you, but it will also mean that you can progress in your career. It will also help you to become crystal clear on the type of content, the organic content that you're going to be creating around this package and around your niche, because you need to focus on getting people to that offer. So you're only going to be able to create a certain type of content, and it's going to be very clear to you what type of content you need to make to attract the type of client. It will streamline your social media. It will streamline what your website looks like. It will streamline what your offers page looks like. It will streamline what your portfolio needs to look like, because everything is going to focus and center on your one core offer. And this way you will create also momentum, and you will start to create associations in people's heads out there for what you stand for. So they will know, like, if they think of you, oh, this is the type of luxury wedding photographer. This is the type of creative product photographer. They will know what you stand for, and they will know how to recommend to you and like what it is that you offer. So, because if you try to serve anybody anywhere, you will end up serving nobody with what you're doing. I think this lack of focus, lack of niching, lack of specialization is what trips up 99% of photographers out there. And if I go onto photographers' websites, it takes me forever to figure out what it is that they're offering. And I'm not saying this like as if I've solved everything. Like, you will get confused probably of what it is that I offer until you go onto my packages website, until you maybe click on my packages, and there it becomes very clear. But from the front page of my website, I just showcase some work that I like. So I have been making this mistake myself, but at least I'm aware of this mistake and I know how to change that. Do you know how to change it? So to get to your niche and to get to your core offer, ask yourself, which type of clients do I want to serve? How much do I want to charge for my package? Who are the people who can afford this type of package? And where do I find them? And what type of content do I need to make to reach them? So the next thing that makes somebody successful in this field of photography, that they have a really good network of collaborators and business contacts. Okay, I want you to imagine this situation. A client calls you up and they say, okay, so I have this really big shoot that I want you to do. And I want you to bring 2 light assistants, a makeup artist, a professional hairstylist. I want you to bring like 6 really cool models. And also, like, once we finish and wrap that job, I want you to pitch it to 5 photo editors at really cool magazines, because I also want to get some exposure for this work. What do? Are you equipped to take that job? Do you know the people right away? Do you open a contact list on your computer or on your phone and you know the right people to call? Or are you not equipped to take that job? And I would say 99% of people would not be equipped to take that job because they don't have this network of collaborators. Oh, and the client also tells you, I want you to bring a videographer, somebody who can take video and shoot video for this whole thing. So I can tell you that the top 1% of photographers have a network of extremely good competent, tried and tested collaborators and business contacts that they can reach out to in such a case. And if you're somebody who hasn't worked with makeup artists before, you haven't worked with assistants before, you haven't like rented gear, or you haven't worked with a videographer before, like I need you to get on that train and start getting that experience and create those contacts in the industry, because you will fall behind if you don't have a network of people who you can collaborate with. I feel like there is this lone wolf mentality with a lot of photographers out there, and they refuse to collaborate. They don't want to have other people around them when they're shooting. And I'm not sure if it's like a career of introverts. I think there's a lot of introverts in this career. I'm an introvert myself, if people can believe it. I talk a lot for an introvert, but I think it's also like not willing to give up control, and also just not knowing why it's valuable to have those kind of collaborators. And I think as a team, you can just tackle bigger and bigger clients and bigger jobs. So it just makes sense to have those people at your fingertips that you can work with, especially like photo assistant, lights assistants, I think are invaluable for progressing in this type of job. So what I want you to do is to start a spreadsheet on your computer and write down all the people that you already know. And if you don't know anybody, start making those contacts. You can easily post on social media and look for collaborators, do some free projects together to like get to know each other in the beginning, and then build up relationships that way. And the same is true not only for collaborators, but also for business contacts. I think you should know who the photo editors of the big magazines are in your area, in the country that you live in. What are the big publications? Make a list of the photo editors, start following them on social media, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Obviously, don't like harass or stalk them, but just make a contact with them and see like what type of things they're sharing and posting. This will give you information also what type of work they're sourcing and looking for. And if you have as a goal to get published in those type of magazines, you at least already know the people that you need to be reaching out to and that you need to be pitching to. So start the spreadsheet and fill it up, work on it over time. So these 5 things are what I believe the top 1% of photographers do differently and the 99% don't do, and it makes them less successful. And if you want to watch more content like this, you can click on this video next, and I'll speak to you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.